Greetings and welcome to the November edition of Getting Around with the Professor, where we talk about upcoming events in the Northeast. Northeast being defined as anything from Ohio East and Virginia North. This one won't be quite as long as some of the other recordings because, frankly, things are slowing down a bit. I know I mentioned on an earlier program that some years ago when I first started, Rosemary Runkle, who's Bill and Mike Runkle's mom, had said to me, there is no off season in the sport, when I said I thought I was getting into it at the off season. And she was certainly right, although there's no off season, things are slowing down a bit. And actually, as of about a week ago, I really only knew of one thing coming up firmly scheduled between now and the end of the year. I do have a couple now to talk about in the next month or so, and so let's get right to it. One that I just learned about within the last 24 hours or so is that the folks out in Ohio are having what they are calling East versus West Ohio on Saturday the 19th. This, of course, is the afternoon where East versus West is taking place in Istanbul, Turkey at 8 o'clock p.m. Istanbul time, which is 12 noon in Ohio. And what they're going to be doing is at 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, they're going to be running East versus West, basically a large practice, which they're drawing people from all over the state of Ohio. They are suggesting, since they already are hearing that they're going to have a nice sized group, that if you're coming, you might want to bring a table because essentially we want to do a little bit more pulling and a little bit less standing around. Of course, my table is always in my trunk. So I'm planning on going and taking it. A little bit far for me to go from Eastern Pennsylvania, just for, one of the practice, even a big one like this. So I'm going to combine it with a couple other practices on Friday and Sunday out in Western Pennsylvania. Of course, those will follow the normal practices in Eastern Pennsylvania on Wednesday and Thursday, meaning, yes, by the time I get to the East versus West Ohio, it'll be my fourth practice in 4 days, but of course, we've already established that I'm nuts. So what we're going to be doing there is, like say, big practice. This is going to be in Powell, Ohio, which is one of the northern suburbs of Columbus, hosted by the Columbus, Ohio group. The week after that is Thanksgiving weekend, and I know of nothing formally. I did hear tell of a group getting together. It's not really an event, but the folks in Southern Virginia are getting together for some challenge matches and practice and so forth in Chesapeake on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. It's the 26th. It's not on the list that I'm putting up here, but if you are down in the Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth area, you might want to see about that. That's pretty much it for Thanksgiving weekend. The week after that is the one item I have known about for a little while. On the 3rd of December, also out in Ohio, something called When Titans Collide. This is at the Gus's Outback in Beaver, Ohio, which is about a small town, about an hour and a half south of Columbus. And this is going to be a tournament, relatively inexpensive, as I recall, $25 for the first arm, 20 for the additional. And also we'll have some super matches with it. One of the super matches will be featuring a person I've known reasonably well, James Cuddy Woodland, who is otherwise known as Wiggles, although he's been losing some weight, and so Wiggles is not quite wiggling around the torso, quite as much anymore. He's coming off a very popular crushing of a gent by the name of William Palmer from the state of Mississippi at the AWU3. Normally, I don't talk about people getting crushed, but hey, the AWU people apparently don't really want to pay any attention to the really good stuff we're putting out here at 98. So Palmer probably won't even see it. But that will, as I say, take place on the 3rd of December. And if you are nowhere near Beaver, Ohio, which a lot of people aren't, because they say it's rather a small place in South Central Ohio, they will be doing a live pay-per-view. This is also kind of a strange tournament in Ohio in that it's one of the few tournaments that take place in Ohio that does not have Tim Lewis appearing in a super match. Tim is apparently going to be taking a couple of months off from really active participation in tournaments, super matches, and so forth to chase a personal record of 500-pound bench press. So I'm sure we all wish him, the best in that effort. So that is the 3rd of December. 10th of December at the moment, I don't know of anything going on. The week after that, the 17th of December, Saturday, is the day of the big Granite Arms Christmas party up in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm going to be going to that. That's always well attended, draws from multiple states all over New England and beyond. In fact, I believe I saw that Bob Brown's going to be joining them this time around. But they basically pack as many tables into the place as they can, which is about 6 or 7 of them. I'll be taking my table and sit down format for those that want to try that. I did that previous occasion. Some of you may think, hey, New Hampshire in the middle of December, what's the weather going to be like? Well, hey, what's the weather going to be like in New Hampshire any time of year? I usually get up there about twice a year. They often have an event a similar event in the spring or summer. And about a year and a half ago, I went to their spring event, which was on the 1st of May. And I was coming at New Hampshire from a slightly different direction than I normally do from Allentown here, because I'd gone to a Friday evening practice up in upstate New York. And Waze decided to save me a couple bucks by not sending me over the Massachusetts Turnpike, but across southern Vermont on Vermont State Route 9. Sorry, Waze, not a particularly good idea, because I was driving through a massive snow squall, a number of massive snow squalls all the way across southern Vermont. And as I say, that was the morning of the 1st of May. So, just about anything can happen there. But hey, once I got to Manchester, the weather was really great there. And so we can just hope for the best there. They are asking if you're coming, bring something along to add to the food larder. I'm going to be taking scrapple. I got to show these people from New Hampshire, Pennsylvania Dutch delicacy, as we say here, get to know what gut is. And if you don't know what's in scrapple, don't ask. You probably don't want to know. But in any event, that will be, as I say, the 17th of December. And to be honest with you, at the moment, that is about it. Those events are about all I know of from now until the end of the year. I have heard that Dave Morocco is talking about holding another one of his practices sometime in December. It's also possible Josh Grant may be running a tournament for a charity also in December, but I have no firm information on either of those. You might want to keep an eye out for those 2 items. And that, like I say, is about it for what I know in 2022. The list, which is attached to this, as it always is, does have a number of events already up for 2023. The NuWay, NuWay Combat and American Armwrestler Nationals is in January in Atlantic City, and there's things stretched out through January, February, March. This is not carved. This is not announced yet, although it looks like we're definitely going to be having the Winter Blast in the Philadelphia area on the 11th of March. We'll be putting details out on that firm details within the next week or so. And then once the weather starts to heat up, the tournaments do as well in April. In fact, for the first 4 weeks in April, there are all sorts of bigger events, including the Maine State Championship, the USAA, IFA National Championship, and sit-down nationals. All 3 of them taking place during 4 weekends in April. So that's what I know about now. Of course, I won't be seeing you on this program before Thanksgiving, so have a good one. If you are sitting around on a Friday night and want to take a look at us, we do have a live stream every Friday night on the 98 YouTube page, where we talk about all sorts of things. We had Adam Rosinski on last week, and one of these weeks we're going to have Coach Ray on, although we have to work around that as far as the time, because Latvia is about I think 8 hours ahead of us. And so when we're on in the evening on Friday, it's basically the middle of the night for Latvia. but we will eventually get that on. Possibly that one might be taped rather than live, depending on, or be done at a different time. So once again, have a happy Thanksgiving, and basically I will be talking to you next month.